everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown. Well, it hasn't even been 24 hours since the Edmonton Oilers were unfortunately, tragically eliminated from the Stanley Cup Finals by the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers, 3 straight years in the Stanley Cup Finals, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. They're a team that frustrates all of us. A lot of people don't like them, but you have to respect how just damn good that team is. The Oilers were definitely beaten by the better team in these finals, and there's a lot of things the Edmonton Oilers will have to look at this summer to try and be better if they're going to make a third attempt to get back to the finals themselves next year and to finally get over that hump. One player that the Edmonton Oilers believe will help them in doing that is forward Trent Frederic, who they picked up at the trade deadline this past season for a couple of draft picks. Trent Frederic didn't really stand out too much in this year's playoffs. In 22 games played, he picked up 1 goal, added 3 assists for 4 points, and was a +1 overall. He's a guy that we talked about quite a few times that we'd like to see more from. Obviously, the big thing with Trent Frederic was his injury coming into the Stanley Cup playoffs. He was able to come back. He tried one attempt during the regular season. I think he played like 6 minutes in a game against the LA Kings. Had to leave again due to that injury, and then we didn't see Trent Frederic back until the Stanley Cup playoffs. I think we saw a glimpse of what we could possibly see with Trent Frederic, a big guy that hits, he can score goals, but didn't really realize that potential yet with the Edmonton Oilers, but it looks like the Oilers are on the verge of signing him to an 8-year deal in the range of $4 million per season, according to St. Louis-based insider Andy Strickland. And just as I finished recording, there was an update on this from insider Frank Saravalli. He reports, "Don't expect the Oilers to announce a deal in the near future as they're engaging in talks with other current roster players, but, as has been speculated, expect Trent Frederic's next deal to come in at 8 years and north of $3.5 million, but south of $4 million in AAV. Over the course of that deal, the salary cap is expected to continue to rise, probably in years, we'll call it 6, 7, 8, $4 million for a player is going to be considered quite the bargain. If a fully healthy Trent Frederic can come into Edmonton next fall, bring some of those intangibles that we saw with the Boston Bruins a few years back. In 2023-2024, in 82 games played, so the full season, 18 goals, 22 assists, 40 points, a +9. We talked about all year long that the Edmonton Oilers needed more physicality, needed more guys who can bring that physicality and also score at the same time. And Trent Frederic is potentially one of those players. As I've said, he was hurt when he came in from Boston. We haven't seen the player that I think Trent Frederic fully can be. So if the Oilers do this deal, and it sounds like it's just a matter of time before the Edmonton Oilers announce his 8-year extension, then this is a deal that, like I said, has the potential to really work out well for the Edmonton Oilers. But at the same time, if Trent Frederic doesn't realize his potential, then an 8-year deal at $4 million per season could potentially be problematic. But with the rising cap, the Oilers could probably find ways around it if it ultimately doesn't work out. But like I said, if Trent Frederic can come in, deliver some physicality, deliver some secondary scoring for the Edmonton Oilers, I imagine he's going to be a top 9 forward, probably not in the top 6 for the Oilers, but potentially a guy that can move up. When he was first acquired, I was really interested in what a guy like Trent Frederic could possibly do playing alongside a Connor McDavid, maybe not as a full-time gig, but I was looking back at a player like Pat Maroon who had the ability to score but just needed an opportunity to go with a playmaker, and maybe a Connor McDavid-Trent Frederic combination is something we could possibly see, or maybe the Oilers just see him as strictly a third-line forward. We'll see what happens here, guys, next fall. This is all just a future thing right now for Trent Frederic, but like I said, I'm potentially excited about this deal. It has a lot of different factors to it. We'll discuss it more once it is official from the Edmonton Oilers, but for now, guys, let me know your thoughts on a potential 8-year extension for Trent Frederic at around $4 million per season. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.